In the first 24 hours after it was unveiled, the central bank eNAIRA has continued to attract the interest of Nigerians with about 200,000 wallets downloaded. A breakdown of the figures yesterday shows that in less than 1 day after the digital currency was launched by President Muhammadu Buhari, 156,700 consumer wallets have so far been set up, while 23,650 merchant wallets have been opened, a reflection of interest the innovation has continued to attract. It is expected that in the coming days, the amount will rise as the Central Bank of Nigeria intensified awareness on eNAIRA. Buhari has said with the eNAIRA, the country's gross domestic product was projected to rise by $29 billion in the next 10 years. Meanwhile, a business developer, Olushola Popola, has emphasized the impact the eNAIRA will have on businesses and by extension the economy. Popola was speaking earlier in the day on Business Breakfast.
Almost 3 months or thereabout that I've started it. The thing that you want to look at is this. Why should I not take it? There's no reason. If it's security, it's secured. Because, there are levels of transactions that you take on them. Less than 50,000, you just need your NIN number. And above 50,000, you need your PVN to transact. So, whether you like it or not, this is going to be, it's just like you having the cash, the paper money. But this time around, you have access to it digitally. And as a business person, I want ease of transaction. That's why the cryptocurrency and everything came then. You want ease of transaction. You want to be able to transfer money. You want to be able to move money. So for now, it would be a good and great idea if most organizations, it's not as if after the 90 days, the cost is going to be so high. No, it's not going to be too much of a cost, so to speak. But then, why don't I save as a business person? Any little amount I can save in my business, I think is welcome. So if I have some money in the account now, I want to meet my bank. Okay, can you transfer maybe 50% of my deposits into my eNAIRA account? So it will cost you nothing, but it will cost you no matter how little something. If you don't, because this is what we get to a point where every business, you even go to the market, people want to buy pepper, and the pepper person is saying, give me eNAIRA.
Away from there now, experts have called on the government and the capital market operators to ensure capital market development is captured in the federal government's growth plan. Speaking earlier on our Business Breakfast, CEO APT Securities Garba Kofi tasked government to initiate strong implementation strategies to capture more players in the sector.
Before 1990, we have only very few players in the market. It was the Bureau for Public Enterprise that bring the First Bank, the Union Bank, the UBA, the Afrobank, many companies into the market. And the oil company like African Petroleum, which is Ardoba now, the corn oil, which was National Oil Company, many of them were released to the public. And that single act transformed the entire market capitalization. Our all share index before 1990 is less than 1,000.
Right.
By 1992, we hit 1,000. By 2000, we hit 10,000. And today, you are talking of 41,000. Remember in 2008, we hit 66,000, the highest ever in the history of the capital market. So, if the government will now privatize the discos, the GEMCOs, the NLG gas, the NNPC, you will see how the capitalization of the market will increase, and you will see more participating, because when the government sell, you will see the people take position. And from there, that transform the company into something else. We never forget the coming of MTN and Airtel. these single two companies has really transformed our market into something else.
And now the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) has stated that investment opportunities worth nearly $3.097 billion currently resides in the country's condensate refineries environment. Group Managing Director of NNPC, Mele Kyari, disclosed this yesterday in Lagos in his keynote address at the 15th Oil Trading and Logistics Africa Downstream Week. Kyari said between $1.6 billion and $2.7 billion were needed by the corporation to boost the supply and distribution of petroleum products, rehabilitate liquefied petroleum gas infrastructure, and construct compressed natural gas plants in the country. He further added that the country would require a refining capacity of about 1.52 million barrels per stream day to meet its petrol requirement in the next 4 years. Now, the Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Chui Jianchun, has disclosed that Nigerian banks will soon begin operations in China, adding that he is working assiduously to actualize in this. Jianchun also mentioned that to enhance trade and commerce between China and Nigeria, it was equally taking the needed steps that will lead to the setting up of Chinese financial institutions in Nigeria. On the currency swap between the two countries, he says, and he explained that the framework for the 750 billion naira initiative was being expanded by the Chinese and Nigerian central banks. According to him, since its inauguration over 21 years ago, the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation has strengthened high-level collaboration between China and Africa. And on the international scene now, oil prices fell on Wednesday after industry data showed crude oil stockpiles rose more than expected and fuel inventories unexpectedly increased last week in the United States, the world's largest oil consumer. Brent oil futures fell 69 cents or about 0.8% to $85.71 a barrel after closing at the highest in 7 years on Tuesday. West Texas Intermediate futures declined 79 cents to $83.86 a barrel after gaining 1.1% in the previous session. Analysts said prices are starting to look overbought, with Brent rising the past 8 weeks and WTI, West Texas Intermediate, climbing for the past 10 weeks.